Welcome to AHL Podcast Week 2. I am Parenko55, joined by Barakov, DeGraves, and Six this week. Ducks fan Waterloo will be joining us once he finds where his mic is. He'll be joining us a little bit later. Also, we'll have an interview with him and DeGraves about their teams, looking into Week 3. We'll also take a look at each conference, kind of the same way we did last week. Talk about the trades, a lot of big ones going on. Condors kind of cleaning house. Their GM decided to take a ban, and we'll talk about that. We'll actually break down the Atlantic and the Eastern Conference first. Then we'll do the Eastern North, the West Central, and the West Pacific. So we'll get going with the Eastern Atlantic. Try to shorten up the show this week. First off, we'll pull up the rankings on how those guys are going. Actually, I'll pull up the standings first. Springfield is in first right now with 29 points. Phantoms are chasing them in second with 23 points, and the Wolfpack are third with 21 points.
Best in the league.
Yeah, get out of here, Barakov. Then we also have the Sound Tigers, the Bruins, the Checkers, the Penguins, and then last we have Hershey. So starting off with Springfield, they're 14-6, with one overtime loss. So it looks like they haven't lost a step after week 1. What's your guys' take on that?
Gonna lose a step tonight.
Okay, yes, we understand you're playing against Springfield tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, they're a pretty solid team. They can pretty much beat you with 4 lines, and that's pretty much what the Cudas have. But I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting week 3 for them.
Well, I wouldn't say it's gonna be that tough of a week. They had Providence last night. They took care of Providence. They took care of the Sound Tigers last night. But the remaining schedule for this week is the Wolfpack, the Senators, and then Utica, Hershey, and the Crunch. Can't really say that's a tough schedule.
I mean it in the way that, like, you know that they're not top teams. So I always found that, like, if you're playing a good team, it's going to be a good hockey game. But, like, when you get to those lower end teams, like the 4 and the 5 and the 6 seed teams, in the divisions, the hockey just gets lowered down a bit, and, like, it really shows, like, if your top players can just create offense against just pure, like, fuckery on the ice, pretty much, when it's just bouncing all around and stuff like that.
So I mean, at that, pretty much Springfield, they have Al the Wall, who is 6-2-1, 9 games played and 35 points already. Looks like he's leading the way in their offense. You got Mr. Tryhard 98 NHL. He's with 33 points.
And you got Johnny.
Right.
24 points. Are they a line? No.
I don't believe they are a line, though.
No, I don't think so. No.
So, I mean, I don't see anybody taking their place, especially with that remaining schedule.
Yeah, no, I agree there too.
The Senators game and Hartford might be there too, but I mean Hershey and Utica haven't proven to be much resistance so far this season.
It's pretty much where all their offense is coming from, though, is those three guys. Their next guy is until, where is he here? 65 on the points list.
So then you have the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. They are 11-8-1 so far. They beat Hershey and they beat the Penguins. But once again, they actually have some competition. They have the Senators, the Americans, Providence, and the Devils. So they're facing the other Eastern Conference this week. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do against those teams. Senators, I'm not sure what their lineup is for tonight. Providence has proven to be a tough team.
It's the Belleville top line.
Right. So, I mean, that'll be a test right there. They got the Phantoms they actually have 3 games tonight. They have the Senators, Utica, and the Americans. That's 1, 2, 3. Where am I going with this? I'm having a brain fart. But you have the Devils too. And they've actually proven that they actually have a decent team this season. They are, I believe, second in the division. And the Americans come off 2 big wins against the 2 top teams. So that could be an interesting game. You get definitely not an easy schedule as Springfield, but definitely. Trying to see who their top guys are.
They don't have any.
Matthew C just got sent over to them from the Senators.
First game tonight?
Might be.
That'll be interesting. Be watching that game.
McLean also just got sent over there. But it looks like Mr. Penguins kept them in a lot of games, in my personal opinion. They did a lot of moves, and it's just looks like a rebuild. I'm kind of not understanding that. Because, let's see here. I don't know why the site's so slow right now. People must be putting in their stats from last night.
Yeah.
4 new players on their forward positions. Chips Ahoy, Avalanche City, Jared 2112, and Dangle Gino Sully.
Yeah.
No. Matt played last night and had 2 points.
Right. I mean, it'll be interesting.
Actually had 6 points. 5 points. Played both games.
Next, we have the Hartford Wolfpack. I'm sure Bearcoff has all kinds of words to say about them.
Yeah. Quite the team.
They have Springfield, Devils, Sound Tigers, Comets, and Providence. They took a loss to the Penguins last night, 2-1, and then beat the Checkers 6-3. See a lot teams. Springfield will be a tough game. Devils will be a tough game.
Yep. No doubt
Gotta
about
win that. Gotta win that Sound Tigers game. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty
Barkov, take it away.
Pretty much the rest of the week after the Devils is pretty much win games. I mean, tonight's both win games too, so wouldn't really make a difference. More or less what's happening with this team right now is there's new guys coming in because the Rangers are struggling up in the Chell, and they're starting to bring guys up who are point getters. Like we lost Toffoli to the NHL, and I think someone else went up too. Don't know who it was. But still, he's top line left wing gone.
Right.
I don't know. It's going to be an interesting week for the Wolf Pack. It's either going to go really well or it's going to go really bad. So far, it's like in the middle. But I'm telling you, after tonight, shit's either hitting the fan or it's going to smell real nice.
Well, I noticed you guys made a huge trade with the Condors, bringing in Mats, Obey the Sandman. I'm trying to think who the other one was.
Technics?
Yeah, Technics is the other one.
Yeah.
I don't know Technics per se, but I've played with Obey in the past, and he's him and Matt too are both top quality players, and I think the first game's tonight. I'm playing with them, but no, they're definitely what we needed to fill Toffoli, because we just got pretty much two more guys to go to the forwards. I don't know who these other two guys are, but
I'm trying to look to see who you guys sent over there.
it was big buck, T-Bod.
Big T-Buck.
Yeah, Big T-Buck and
T-Bod 68.
Thank you.
J. R. 8121. Crazy Native
Sounding like a lot of TC guys.
and Deadly 1910.
So yeah, that was a lot for those two guys.
I think it may have also been. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that Obey and Matt may have also used their trade requests.
Would you be surprised if they did?
Probably not.
I mean, the Condors, lost every game this week? Again? I mean, you have Edmonton that's bottom of theirs up in the NHL. So they're obviously trying to reamp their team. It might be a little too late for those two teams. The Condors and Edmonton.
Yep.
Let's move on to the Sound Tigers.
Sound Tigers.
Lost to Springfield last night, and then beat the Checkers 3-2. They had the Crunch, which might be an interesting game depending on who's sending out who. The Senators, Wolfpack, Rockets, and the Phantoms. I can see 1, 2, maybe 4 wins.
They should beat the Crunch.
They should beat the Crunch. They should beat the Rockets. And depending on how Lehigh Valley and them shape out.
Probably not going to beat Belleville either. I don't know, though. Hopefully they do. I'm tired of seeing all those Belleville spin moves on the ice. Enough of that shit.
Yeah, you seen enough spin moves for your season?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I still see them. It's like nightmares.
You have not really even. Gremlin has 16 points. Scotch has 13. Dirty Dog has 20. Boone has 6 games played and only 10 points. Not really seeing any. Well, you had what? Boone and Scotch and Boone, Scotch, and Gremlin were aligned. It looks like that's like their top line.
And all
putting up mediocre numbers. I mean, Scotch was what, $6 million contract?
Yeah, definitely not worth that.
And only 13 points. Not even see. They did bring in tough cuts. Their one defenseman, the Milkman, is 2-5 with 2 points, a goal and an assist, and a -18. And I don't even. Have they even played the Goudas yet?
For their sake, I hope they have.
Yeah, we got them this week again.
Yeah. Losses against. Looks like Rockford, Chicago, Moose, Lehigh Valley. Hartford. There's only 2 wins are against Utica and the Checkers.
No Those are the only 2 wins?
Only 2 wins.
Was their top line in those games?
You caught me after I already backed out of it. Oh no, but be a minus, what I say, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to be doing.
Right. So, you got the Providence Bruins tied with them with 17 points.
You somehow have less goals for than they do against.
Exactly.
And they're like tied for 4th.
Yeah, that's amazing too.
They're really good when they're away.
Yeah. 2-8-1.
And they're on a 5-game losing streak too.
Jesus. Came out strong, not so hot now.
Yeah, and I actually liked Providence's team. I really did. I thought they had some talent there, and hopefully they'll be able to pull it out. But
I mean, you got Chris, you got Advanced Human.
Not impressed with
Risk.
Not impressed with Joe Stud's stats at all. That's a top quality D-man they got there, and he's not playing 1-6-1 with -13.
Yeah, I'd like to know. Oh yeah, he's at -13, right? Yeah.
I mean, you got 2 guys that are -13. Both defense.
Yeah.
Well, I think at first when they started out hot, they were getting good goaltending. Yeah, I mean, Darts has played 10 games and is elite. But they have 4 defensemen that are in the blue, and you have 2 defensemen in green.
And your captain's also 2-6-0. It's the other goalie.
So it looks like you either go Darts or
TC.
right.
Don't put that guy in.
I mean, Darts' last 3 losses were Rockford, Moose, and a 3-0 shutout Hershey did to them. Like, how do you get shut out by Hershey?
Yeah. I wouldn't blame it so much on the goalie in this case.
Oh,
Your team
no.
only has 44 goals for.
18 shots, 3 goals against. In that game, he had an 83.3 save percentage.
Oh, there's no doubt. Like, he's probably tops for goalies right now. Save percentage. Maybe not after that 6-1 loss there.
Even in that game, I mean, heck, against Milwaukee,
Milwaukee,
he had 33 shots on him. 33 shots.
He has the most in the league. No, he doesn't.
What, shots against?
Yeah. Not even close.
I mean,
that's fucked. This guy on the Griffin has 200 shots against. That's funny.
and then tied with them, you have the Checkers. Like 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
I mean,
three-way tie, man. You know, that's a playoff spot, right? Bridgeport's in it right now just because. But you got 3, and then even 7 and 8, even Wilkes-Barre and Hershey. Although, you know, low on the totem pole, still a point out.
Win 2 games tonight and hope for 2 losses, and you're in 4th place.
Well, shit, the swing is intense there, right? You can go from 8 to 4 in one day, right?
That's what happens when everyone loses.
Yeah, and it happens, right? Depending on what division they're playing and what teams they're playing, it's, you know, sometimes LG schedule isn't favorable.
I just meant like the Eastern Atlantic in general. Everyone lost last week.
Yeah.
You have Stifler, 81 with 19 points. You have Epic Skillsy, their GM, with 22 points.
That's okay. Not great.
Yeah, Alexander, 16.
16. But you have one defenseman that's a minus 18. You have a center that's a minus 17. Well, I mean, looks like they just aren't putting the puck in the net. Unless it's Alexander, Skillsy, or Stifler. And they have the Devils, Americans, Rockets. Right there, they face the Penguins on Tuesday. That's a huge game. Penguins could jump right over them. If they aren't by then already. And then they also face the Marlies on Tuesday.
I don't know. I'd say they win the first game, or not the first game. I'd say they lose the first game to the Devils, but they win that second game there.
Penguins are 7-11-2. Tied with the Hershey Bears.
Yep. Yeah, so something that stands out there too, right? Is their goals against too for the Penguins, right? It's 78 goals against. If you look up at like Bridgeport, right, they've got 76 goals against. Wilkes-Barre has 5 more goals than the Sound Tigers do. So, you know, like we said earlier, it's a tight race there.
Look at Hershey's. We got pretty much Toffoli and Camilleri lead their way. This isn't quite the Hershey Bears of past.
Yeah, you know who else too? Single G6 right after the season he had last season. I thought he was going to come out a lot more hot than he is now.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty
You
sure
got
his last year was good.
you got Top Gun Killa, who's won 5 with 6 games played, 10 points, a minus 24. That's a lot for being only in week 2.
What games has he been in?
Colorado.
7-4, 5-2, 7-0, 6-2. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, getting beat 6-2 against the Checkers.
I think this guy needs to stop playing as a hitting sniper.
Something.
It's time for a class change, sir.
All else fails, power forward.
All else fails, I don't think anybody's really gonna touch Springfield.
Yeah.
I think it's their division to lose.
Well, I mean, just that again, goals for is 20 plus 20. You know, on anybody else in the division, you're scoring 20 more goals than everybody else in your division. You're most likely winning most games, right?
Right.
So
let's move on to the Eastern North. We got the Belleville Senators. Still in first.
Bastards.
Top line that we've been talking about. Age Squad, Coztown. My French isn't Le I'm probably butchering the hell out of it.
Le Cupidon.
Le Coupillon, there we go. Got to put like some more tongue into it.
The French connection.
Yeah, the French connection. And then you also have a great goaltender in Clutch Dolphin.
Yeah, he's a retardedly good goalie. Saves I mean, it's not that they need good goaltending, but when you know you got a solid guy like that in net, boosts your confidence even more.
Well, I mean, and for your second line to still have Mello on it isn't shabby at all either.
Yep.
They lost to the Americans last night and then beat the Crunch 6-3. They faced the Phantoms in Springfield tonight, and also the Sound Tigers. That Springfield Senators game is one you might want to catch the stream on if they are. That should be a very good game.
yeah, I think either team wins that game too, right? I mean, I think that's a pretty evenly matched team, matched match up there.
Did you say they were running their first line on that game, Barkov?
For tonight?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, they are. Oh, for Springfield or?
For both teams.
Where are we at?
9:45. Or is it 8:45?
It's 8:45. It's a featured game. Yeah, you got in the game tonight. You got for Belleville. You got Cosdom ages and Lukupinen. Yeah, I mean, 20, 23, and 32 points for their forwards against NHL Twister, G. Wood, and
Mr. Tryhard.
Mr. Tryhard, yeah. Yeah, so I mean,
hit by the best and Horsing on defense.
Yep. Yeah, they got Clutch Dolphin in net for Belleville and Bacon.
Sure.
They're giving, like, I don't think I've seen any less of a spread on goalie ever. Like, that's literally a centimeter?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe? So, Springfield side?
Yeah, it looks like Springfield's up just a bit.
So, yeah, I mean, Senators are a tough team. Galley did well on putting a team together this season. They're on tops with 28 points. And second, we have the Binghamton Devils. And they have the Checkers, Wolfpack, Hershey, Phantoms, and the Crunch. Beat Utica and the Marlies last night. And I mean, I got Chowski leading the way, 27 points. I think, didn't they just get Chowski though? I want to say he came over in a trade. So I believe, wasn't Chowski on the Marlies?
Filter.
Yeah, he was on the Marlies.
Yep.
He's only played 2 games with the Devils.
Yeah, it says D. Herms, Noyes, Chowski to the Devils for K-Mac, Marauding Moose, and Mitch Marner. Right, is that it? Yeah.
The Mitch Marner?
The Mitch Marner.
Fuck. He stole that trade.
I mean, then they have a decent draft pick in Bennett.
Leave it alone. There's potatoes in the refrigerator you can cook.
Yeah, Crashman and Boogeyman. So, I mean, that's... Nobody's outstanding for terrible plus minus. So, they have a decent team. Tweak here, tweak there, they might be taking over the Senators. They're only 1 point behind them, 3-game winning streak.
You know what's interesting is I think that same thing. I really do. I think Binghamton has a decent squad. I think they got a chance to take them over quickly.
Who are those 3 games tonight?
They're 7-1-2 in their last 10.
They play Charlotte, Hartford, and Hershey tonight. And then they play the Phantoms and the Crunch.
So they have 3 games tonight.
Correct.
Yeah, the Belleville only has 2.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Belleville plays the Phantoms and then the T-Birds. So you watch. They don't win that second game, they might not be in first.
Next is the Rochester Americans. I'll let you guys talk about these guys.
Come on, you can take your own team.
No, I'm good.
You sure? Okay.
Positive.
Let's see here. All
Bunch
right.
of bums.
Bomb squad. So, yeah, once again, same thing. Same thing there too, right? The last 3 and 4 are pretty tight, and even 4 is pretty tight to the top, right? What is it, 5 points? I think that whole division right now is tight as well. Let's see, 2-game win streak, right, for Rochester, which is a good thing. Who'd you guys take out?
Senators and
Belleville.
Marlies.
Right?
Wow.
You took who? No, it says
Marlies and the
Senators. Yeah, and the Marlies. Yeah, so that's 2 wins. Yeah, that Belleville win's big for you.
And I'm saying you guys probably win the next 4 too.
I think. I mean, who do you have now? You got Charlotte,
Phantoms,
and the Crunch.
Phantoms, Crunch, and Penguins.
Oh, for sure. And then
Tuesday's
you got Springfield.
gonna be a tough one.
Well, Tuesday at 9:45. Do you have another game there too? Because it's not showing on the schedule.
Yeah, there's another one there too.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I think you guys go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you go 4-0 the next 4 games you have.
Yeah. In that T-Birds game.
Yeah.
That'll be the test.
Well, the test, actually, I kind of want to bring this up later. The test, I think, is how well teams' availability is on Halloween.
It's true.
I don't think a lot of teams are going to have their top lines out. I think it's going to be kind of scratching.
I am. I play the CUDA.
You better hope that Kuda's team is all out trick-or-treating.
My top line better show up.
Well, we'll have Ducks fan on here later, so we'll find out if they're trick-or-treating or not.
He just actually asked me if we're still having him on, so if you want to pop him in here now.
Yeah.
Watch out for him and the Pasta Man.
Like, who has it in their nose and not in their mouth? Yeah, let me hit him.
Yeah, I think looking at the Americans too. Let's see.
No, be easy. I've been stripped by the NHL really bad.
I was just asking, what happened with Pappy? How'd he get to your team?
I got him via trade up draft pick and a TC.
All right, cool. That's a good trade. I played with that kid for a while. I think he was on my TC too, like season 3 or something goofy like that, and maybe as a left wing. He's a good player. That's a definite good addition to your squad.
We lost Jay Willie to the NHL. And filled him with Pappy. And then we lost Timebot and DJ and Priceless all up to the NHL.
Right.
So,
look, what's Shaft Eddie? 7 games, 22 points. So, who else you got? Who else you got as a standout here?
JK Hank.
JK Hank, yeah, there you go. 8 games, 23. 11 goals, 12 assists. I love that too, to see even goals and assists, right? 11 and 12. That's a beautiful thing. You don't have just all one way or the other.
It's funny. Yeah, if you read Zeus's thing for the Americans, he had Week 1 team may have stood a very good chance against the Kudas. Thanks, NHL.
Yeah, we won our 2 games. They lost their 2 last night, so I'll probably get stripped by the end of the week again. Now we'll go on to the Marlies.
Well, that was a big win for you, right? Taking them out. Yeah, 3-game losing streak. They do have a lot. They're only 58 goals against, so I mean they're doing something on the D end for sure.
I'd watch for them to win the next 4, even against Belleville.
That's who they
Bold
got.
prediction, but I think they can do it.
Well, they're winning. They're winning the next 2. Maybe they're winning tonight. I would say they're winning at least 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of 3, depending on who Providence throws at them.
Who did they call up to take over Pappy? Because that should have left a void.
They have all. I mean, their D-man. We've what do we got? 6 games, 7 games.
Man, what did I say last week? Tickle my Sakic. Look at this guy. 5-1-0, 25 points. Told you this guy's an all-star.
He is. He's a good player.
And probably one of the best names I've seen in this league.
Without a doubt.
Looks like they brought up D. Stolly. You got King Rinpin that's played 2 games and lost 2 games.
Who'd you say they called up? D. Sully. Yeah. Let's check this out.
3 new guys.
D. Sully 1087.
You got a contract dud in Hippie Girl. 6.5 mil.
Jesus. Yeah, this guy, D. Sully, lifetime stats, CHL lifer, season 4, season 5. Let's see, he was 3-3 this season so far. 1 assist for the Armada. Minus 16 takeaway giveaway.
Actually, I can't really say that about Hippie Girl though.
Yeah, because
Her losses are against. Well, I kind of can, because you paid 6.5, and yet she's playing against the Comets, the Rampage, and the Condors. But going up against the Cuda 9-1,
smoked.
and going up against the Devils, lost 4-1.
Yeah, but you notice the takeaway giveaway. She's positive.
Right.
So like, not really right D fucking up. Same thing with the next game too. She was +3.
So I'll probably take that Cuda game out. She's probably a positive plus minus.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're a -5 on a 9-1, that's 4 games.
Ducks fan incoming.
For
Oh Jesus! Look at this.
special teams.
That's cute, buddy.
What?
Look at his picture. That's real.
Oh,
cute.
jeez.
Drunk
night.
How's it going?
What's up, Doug?
We were just actually talking about your team.
Were you? Okay, perfect time to hop in then. What were you guys
Right.
talking about?
You beating the crap out of Hippie Girl?
Hippie Girl.
9-1.
Oh, the Marlies? Yeah. What was she, the 6.5 million right defense?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
We're actually moving on to the crunch now.
I'm gonna step out for a second, boys. I'll be right back.
There, go ahead.
Okay. You have any
Crunch made.
questions for me specifically, or?
No,
No, that you-
not yet.
Okay, sure.
We'd love your input.
Sure, yeah.
Love your input.
Oh,
So,
on the crunch?
yeah.
Okay, let me bring it up really quick.
I'm just gonna put. This is my opinion on the crunch. A lot of CHL players on their roster.
Yeah, they have a couple good scorers. I mean, V. Coaster, I played with him a lot. He's really good. Torok, I think he was on my TC last year. He's really, really good too. And then, yeah, like you said, to round out the rest of the roster, pretty CHL players for the most part. I know Kingerman, he's been a fringe AHL player for the past couple seasons. They just called him up, it looks like. On their defense, though, they have John Hardcock. I know he's really good. I think he was on the Phantoms last year. He's good. Pat Ethic, he's not bad.
Except for his -16.
True. No, but just from playing with him, I know he's. I mean,
Right.
He's,
I played with Pat, I think, season 3 when he was on the Penguins? No, not a bad defenseman at all.
No.
You got Buds that's 5 and 6.
Yeah, I played with and against him. I mean, he's a decent goalie. He's probably like league average, but behind that defense that they had, I know they made a couple changes now, but before you're not going to get too much help from their defense court. So 5-6, that's not too bad. I don't know what his save percentage is.
I mean, to have an average goalie as your starter, though, that's going to hurt you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, ideally, he'd definitely be the backup there.
I mean, you got Rancher as his backup.
I played with him. He's not too bad either. He's only had 5 games so far, though, but he's not a bad goalie either. But like you said, like another average goalie. Have 2 average goalies. I mean, if you have good defense, that'd be enough. But they're not going to carry you for sure.
25 goals against in 5 games.
Jesus,
that's not ideal.
All right. Well, who's after the crunch in the standings?
Laval.
The Rockets.
I have on
5-5 in their last 10.
My boy Greek's team. I like it. We played them last week, and they actually took it to us pretty hard. I think they had their first forward lineup. Like they had Xylo, Atomic, Greek, and then I forget who their left wing was. I think it was. I know who he is. He was on my team season 3. But I know he's a good left wing. I forget what the score of that game was. I think it was. I know it was really close until the 3rd period, and then I mean, Barracuda so far. I wish you could see like a period by period stats, because we've got to have the most or 3rd period goals by a lot. We seem to be scoring most of our goals in the 3rd. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys. I want to look up that quick. I want to say you guys have.
Oh, for our
teams. As you can tell, the site's running slow.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking up our stats. Is that for real? We aren't joking.
Laval's got some pretty easy games coming up too.
Who they got?
They got Utica, Crunch, or not Crunch. Sorry, Checkers. Boston's farm team there. What are they called? Providence. Bridgeport.
So what's that? The Eastern Atlantic then they're facing?
That is.
I think so. Or no? Oh yeah.
No, yeah.
It's a mix. Yeah.
But they're all. They're not facing like a CUDA or anything.
Right.
They're all winnable games with who they have. Just a matter of who's going to be able to go out and do it.
Yeah, for sure. Did they make any changes over the weekend?
The Rockets? Yeah, they made that trade with the...
Oh, right. That one of the bigger ones, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up. The Barracuda. 46.8 power play percentage. Next closest team is 35.7, and that's the Ice Hawks.
Yeah, we're definitely capitalizing on our chances. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely special teams. Because I noticed that with a lot of teams that face you guys, is like I look at their plus minus, and it's like you beat them like 8-1, 9-1, and then they're only like -5.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a lot of special teams goals, and you guys, I saw it firsthand. What, last Sunday?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take penalties against the Barracuda; they'll make you pay.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a 50-50 chance by the stats that we're going to score. And, yeah. I mean, take all the penalties you want, like against any team. Like eventually, it's gonna come back to bite you. So that's generally the rule of thumb there. Just stay off the penalty sheet.
Yeah, that was one of my fascinating things I looked up this week was where my team stood on special teams.
Right.
And then I looked at that. I'm like 50%. What the heck?
Yeah, don't take a penalty.
Yeah, don't take a penalty. So we got the Utica comments.
Oh, we got to really talk about Utica.
No sleeves.
Since no sleeves isn't here,
right.
let's rip on no sleeves.
By any chance?
1-4, 5 points, a -14.
Jeez. Let's check him out here.
That's some CHL right there.
Is that Pylon City right there? Let's check this out.
And they
I'll tell you what, though, only 4 penalty minutes.
They still have to play the T-Birds.
Nope, that's bench bait. Losses to the Gulls, Stockton, Senators. Got shut out by Premier's team. Only win against the Penguins.
I'm watching him. He's type on the YouTube screen. He just said, "Rip my career."
I don't know. I'm not saying a team can be changed around with one player, but they did acquire a couple new guys.
Where's Utica sitting at?
I'm not saying they're like by any means gonna.
Well, no, I'm asking
win
how many
more
points.
than 3 games.
Utica.
Yeah,
They are
11. They have 11 points.
Yeah, they're 5-13-1.
Yeah, see, that's a deep hole, man. It's not out of the realm that they come back, but that's.
But that kind of deficit compared to what was the last spot? The Marlies?
I mean, 12 points out.
12 points out. And the guys they brought in, I don't see them as huge difference makers. So,
they have winnable games. They have winnable games that they can win.
Right.
Like they're playing Providence, Phantoms, Rockets. That game against the Rockets, they definitely need to win.
The Thunderbirds probably L, right?
Yeah, it's a rip.
Right.
Well, they got 2 against they got Laval, right? And
yeah, Hartford's probably a win. I don't fucking know.
I'd say Hartford they lose against.
I don't know, man.
But
If Bearcoff's in there, it's definitely a win.
Anybody on our team's in there, bro. It's a toss-up. Might as well flip a quarter.
I don't know, man. I like your team.
Sleeves, though, to be fair, he is 1-2-1 in the NHL. He has a -5 up there.
Almost burned through his ECU games.
Yep, that's what he just said.
Yeah. So
they do have a capable defenseman on their TC though, Charbonneau 05. He was on my team last season.
Yeah, he's good.
I think he won Defenseman of the Year in season 4 for the Q. In the Q. So he's really good. He could step in there. Looking at their TC too, they have Peaky Blinders too.
Are they not looking at their TCs then?
Clearly not.
I mean, if I was in that position, honest to God, I'd be making some serious moves.
Well, these picked up. I don't know if they picked them up or like what. I'm trying to find the news feed here.
But do they really have trade bait?
Yeah, that's the other thing. If your whole team's not doing well, it's kind of hard to make trades to get better.
Well, they traded 4 guys for 2 with Hershey. They traded.
Has Zepster been on that team the whole season on Utica?
Yep.
Because I know Zepster, he was a goaler.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Converted left wing.
Oh,
Curlew.
I mean, they're gonna have a hard time moving RC Boomer because he's 4.75.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
My
They
guess
just
is probably
watch,
Curlew's already requested a trade.
Watch Charbon this week. They got him in a straight-up trade.
Charbon?
For tough cuts.
I had M. White on my TC, but he played forward last season.
Charbon, I played him last season against in the playoffs. He was on Texas, I think.
Yeah,
He's a good player, but he's not like a difference maker.
I'm gonna say probably their best player is probably Bardowski.
Yeah, no sleeves. I would agree with that too.
But
I think No Sleeves is the best player.
Oh, come on. Don't give him that.
I'd say it's probably Bardown and then Sleeves. Besides Krula, I don't really see any trade bait. So to be honest, if I'm Vancouver, I know you probably don't want to lose him, but I would probably trade No Sleeves because everybody knows what No Sleeves can do.
Mm-hmm.
Or unless they've already...
Yeah, but here's the problem with that is that what they're looking for is they need scoring, right? I mean, they're let me just check this really fast. Right now, they've got 46 goals for. And if I'm not mistaken, that is low in the league. It is. They need scoring, right? So, I mean, if they can push a D-man like No Sleeves for forwards that can score the puck, okay, but I don't know if you're going to get that. Maybe.
I mean, probably for No Sleeves, you're probably going to get maybe a third line center wing and a draft pick.
And I think that's
one pick that you can have for 3 seasons. I think you get a lot more than a third line player.
Yeah, I think you probably get a second line player and a pick back or something. Call the TC.
If he got traded in the NHL, you could probably get
I think they're going to get more value out of him out of the NHL than they would in AHL.
Yeah, who knows? He may get the call. I mean, I don't know what their NHL team looks like, but
I think they had a first tough week tough this week, and then
do they have the cap? He's $2 million.
They don't.
Right, he is $2 million. Right.
They have like $250,000 in.
So they're gonna have to make a move to bring up Sleeves. That's the only way to save Sleeves' career.
It's all over. It's all over.
All right. Enough picking on Sleeves. Let's move on to the next conference.
Western Central.
Bring it.
What was first on?
Rocky.
Oh, we can skip the Ice Hawks.
Yeah,
I already heard enough about
bums.
them last week.
Fine, you know what I will do? I will give a shout out to my second line though for 6-0, J-Rick and Pooler. It's my budget line.
Your budget line.
Yeah.
That's a new one. Budget lines.
Look at their salaries, man.
Probably all $500K.
I got $750 because Pooler was a re-sign for me. But
I don't want to hear about budget lines because go look at Rochester's. They're all $500K. Besides 2.
Yeah. Mine are just performing. Oh.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Hey! Don't be hating on budget lines.
I think
There's a
I
difference
think I
between budget
550 players.
When you have 15.25 in defense.
Good thing I like during that. I don't know what that was. I'll watch it again and then I'll rebut it next week.
So you called up Dirty Dan.
I did. Yeah, rough time for my second goalie there. It's just when we put up 7 goals against a team, I expect to win every single time. And short leash, really short leash here in Rockford. It's you got to perform or you're gone. And so that's what happened. No performance when I get 8 goals against a team that we literally should be beating every time. It's not good. Dirty Dan played up in the NHL for us one time. I got a couple messages from my NHL guys saying, this guy saved our game. You may want to look and calling him up. And then that performance happened with our second goalie, and it was an easy decision for me, and we'll see how he does.
Well, with this division, I mean, it's tight. Like you said, you put up 7 goals, you got to win.
You got to win, yeah.
Because...
Well, here's the other thing, too. Here's something that I see very, very blatant, just right in my eyes when I look at these standings every week. We have 90 goals for, right? So 15 goals more than any other team in our division, which is great. The problem is our goals against. We're giving up 62 goals. The Manitoba Moose, 74 goals for, only 38 goals against, man. That is incredible, right? That's going to bite us in the ass very quickly if we don't improve in net and, get blocking some shots here.
So the amount of goals in the league.
Who would think a 16-3-1 record, you'd be scared so early?
Yeah, I mean, it's real. You look at around the league, too. And this has been this way since I've been in LG. Right? And I don't know why it is, but for whatever reason, the Western Central seems to be, relatively strong. I remember fighting for a playoff position last year after I was able to, get into management week 4 with Voltage, and we turned that team around pretty quickly. We were fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the year, with a week to go. But it was a hard fight. If we were in any other division, we would have been in the playoffs. So, it is what it is.
That's what you get for being a Blackhawks fan.
Hey, dude, life is good around here. At least the last 7 years or so. So, but yeah, man, this division's going to be tough for us. We, we look at it every day. We watch the moves in our division, and we make sure that our top lines play against the top teams in our division. It's a very simple process for me, and we just go from there.
Next, you have the Manitoba Moose, who went 8-1-1.
Best team in that division, I think.
They have a undefeated record at home. So if you're got a home game against them, probably gonna be a long day.
Forget about it.
Lag switches or something?
No, they just
here's the leg switch talk.
And I'm pretty sure that we have.
Really, this is the team they went to.
I think we beat them twice already.
Yeah, they had a bit of a slow start for sure. I think after the first week, they were like 500 or something.
Who did they lose to last night? They just lost to him last night.
What happened to Lobo?
He'll turn it around. There's no way he stays at like 2.5 points a game or whatever it's at now.
They lost to the Griffins.
Yeah, the Griffins beat them.
Griffins are good. They're going to move up the standings too for sure.
They also lost to the Gulls.
Gulls are good too. They're probably second best in our division.
So
I know standings obviously say otherwise, but talent-wise, I think they're really good.
Well, I mean, it's not like they definitely have a decent team. You got Nazi, you got Lobo, you got Dreamy.
They're scary, man. They're scary.
Milson, Pezdemic.
Group.
Yeah, I mean,
their forward group is probably top 3, definitely. They're really, really good. 3 lines deep too, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, so the upcoming games, they've got Texas, the Reign, the CUDA, the Wolves, and the Condors. So, I mean, I think out of those 5 games that I can see right now, I think they probably win 3 of them. I think they lose to the Barracuda, and I honest to God, I think they lose to the Wolves too, man. It just depends on who they throw at them.
It's one of those up in the airs because you got the Wolves in 3rd place with 27 points, only 4 points behind them.
Good team.
And that game is Tuesday, Halloween.
Speaking of Halloween, Ducks fan, how many people you got out for Halloween?
Yeah, we were wondering that.
Because we got to play you.
Nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
everybody's
have
gonna be there.
everyone. It's going to be an ECU lineup against you. Don't worry.
Yeah, you could tell by Ducks fan. He's gonna be at a Halloween party.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Wearing
for
that
sure.
top.
Yeah, dude, that might be a part of my costume. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Get a little sneak peek there.
He's gonna wear that with a coconut bra and a grass skirt. That's gonna be his getup. So now we move on to the Wolves.
They've been a bit of a disappointment so far, eh? They're supposed to be like top team for sure.
Yeah, so they beat our first line.
See, another one of those. They lost to the Checkers.
Mm-hmm.
4-2.
Yep.
I'm assuming the Wolves and Condors game was a forfeit.
Well,
'Cause
so I had to
yeah.
I had to ECU I had to ECU my stud goalie in prime time, which didn't help us very much, but still, they're a tough team. Very tough team.
Yeah.
So
Got one of the probably. Well, I mean, he won goalie of the year last season in Moose, so he's definitely going to carry them for sure.
on to the Admirals.
This is a
I have
team
a
that
I have a hard time reading this team.
So do I. I was just going to say, this is a team that I thought early when I was looking at the teams before the season started. This is a team that I really thought we were going to have and we're going to have a lot of trouble with. And it seems like they're a good team, but maybe the chemistry is not there. I don't have the answer, but what I do know is that they're falling pretty hard, right? I mean, what's their – let me just see something.
I mean, you got Silky, you got Wolf.
Out of the past
Dan
5
Hater.
games, they've won 3, right? 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5, you know, it's not going to get you there every 10 games, right? It just – I feel like you're not going to get to where you need to be.
Well, they lost 1-0 in a divisional game last night.
Against the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, that's
when the Phantoms beat them 4-3.
I mean, heck, we'll see what they got. They played the CUDA tonight. Which line's going out for that one?
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, we got the superstar line.
Oh my God! You just slapped him in the mouth, didn't you? User pick Matt Loxton pasta. Here you go, Milwaukee.
Against Silky, it's game time and Wolf.
Top line against top line, I think.
Dan the Heater, Beck Bronson, and Creasefire.
Yep, ones, baby.
Well, LG's given the edge on defense to the Admirals.
It is. It's just because of Doyers. That's the only reason why.
It is. Doyers is 1-5, -9.
Yeah, he's a lot better than that, obviously, or else I wouldn't have picked him up. But yeah.
Well, and playing with that line, I would assume that record changes very quickly.
Right.
I think he goes from blue to green and then green to orange in 3 games.
I might say by the end of the week he's probably a +19.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, now that's pushing it, but
well, he's only a -9.
That's true. It is true. I mean, in the way they put up goals, Jesus Christ, it wouldn't.
I mean, we already talked about their power play, 50%.
Right.
But you don't get +- for that one.
The Wolf better stay in the ice, not in the box.
So, I mean, Creasefire is 4-3, 80% save percentage. So tonight's going to be who can keep the puck out of the net the most. I'm assuming not Milwaukee. That's my assumption. It's probably going to make an ass out of me, but so that's Milwaukee. We have the Eagles next, who obviously need to just keep Mooner in net. Back-to-back shutouts last night.
I think he's got 3 at the season, yeah.
8 games, 4-4. I mean, that's going to be a tough one. Because you have SW Bobcats, who is definitely a decent goalie. But then you also have Mooner that just posted back-to-back shutouts. Who's your top goalie? Who are you going to give them more games to?
Mooner for sure.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he's obviously hot.
Stats too. I mean, he's played in the NHL the past 3 seasons. Had really, really good numbers the first 2 seasons in the AHL. He's definitely the top goalie. It's my opinion, anyways.
One player I'm going to tell you guys to keep an eye on is 3T38. I played with him last season in the CHL with Red Deer. The dude is definitely a good defenseman. They definitely got a good pick there with him. Frenchie is back, 16 points. Just doesn't seem like they're scoring a whole lot. I think that's their problem.
Giving up a ton too.
Except for last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what team shows up. I mean, the Stars beat them 7-0. They're 10-10 on the season. So, the Eagles are still a question mark.
Question mark indeed.
Cleveland Monsters.
8-game losing streak? That won't help.
That also means they won like 8 or 9 games straight.
Yeah,
Well,
I think they're like 8-1.
You kind of have to question it when they call up Gary Lemley.
Oh boy.
That kind of shocked me. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could have messaged some teams for a guy that could probably take your third center on somebody else's TC.
Whew.
They just traded for Air Raids. Air Raids is 0-7 with 10 points.
Smart trade. Who'd they trade for him?
Nah, that would have been with the crunch, I couldn't tell you.
It was
I mean, their top player, I think, is Diecast.
what? It was Air Raids Green 1791 for RJ81, MNO Gaboo, and Quickscope 14. Or no, not Quickscope. That was who fucking approved it. Retarded.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe he's AGM.
Traded himself.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, I was tired of his shit, so he just figured he could fucking muscle his way out.
Yeah, losing to the Reign 6-3. Lost to Hershey. Wolves beat them 3-0. Lost to Milwaukee. Lost to Springfield. And it doesn't get any easier because they got the Heat and the Cuda. But they face the Condors, Tucson, and the Eagles. So probably a 3-3. Well, I wouldn't even say 2-3. Probably beat the Condors. Eagles, maybe.
If Mooner's not playing, maybe, yeah.
Right. Might get shut out again.
Yeah, exactly.
Team on the uprise that we all think, the Griffins.
Yeah, they're coming for sure.
Beat the Wolfpack 12-1 last week. I think one of the only teams to make the CUDA only score 4 goals.
Yeah, they played really well defensively against us. I think they only have, 55 goals against for the season. So they're built from defense. They just haven't been scoring enough goals. So
Just
once they get that part figured out, they'll climb up the standings.
I mean, you got Pau Cam. You got Just Saying. Frantic, Dangletown. I mean, guys that have all been around the league. They got Willard McNasty. That must have been a trade with the CUDA.
Yeah, for Doyers.
For Doyers.
Gumba's really, really good too. And obviously with Painter in net, you have a chance to win every single game he's out there. So that definitely helps.
I think Brink is top point getter with 20. So yeah, if they could put more pucks in the net, I think they could definitely start moving up. They definitely have the schedule for it. Rampage, Gulls, Tucson, Wild. Stars could be a toss-up.
Looking at their forwards, though, I mean, they should be scoring more goals. They have a bunch of really good players. PTCRs.
Well, by week 3, you should probably by now you should start getting Chem. I mean,
yeah, that might be the issue too. Just not playing with each other enough.
But I mean, then you move to the Wild. That's a shocker there. I figured those guys would be better than what they were. Well, are.
Have they made many moves?
I don't really think they have. I know they got Hickey from us. Sipley's Skilled was randomly assigned. Mecca was sent down from the NHL.
Defense looks shaky though.
Right. But their losses are against Stockton. Lost 8-1 to Springfield. The Moose. Rockford. They face the Condors, the Stars, and Rampage tonight, and then Griffins and Gulls on Tuesday.
So yeah, I think just like most AHL teams, they're just having trouble keeping the puck out of the net. So they definitely have some forward skill up there.
I mean, you have a Religious Rogue, 2-6, 3 points, -15. They got plus size Pounder. Maybe that's their problem.
Yeah.
Maybe that's their problem. They're not getting their Bog to change game for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pounder, I want to say was
475.
Yeah, way overpaid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll be receiving a 3-season ban at the end of the night. No, he'll probably joke about it too.
Oh yeah.
Then the best part about it is he rejected a contract extension at 1.5 from the Hershey Bears. So, yeah, they just got him from the Condors. That was on the 21st. So that was last week. But other than that, I don't really see the Wild really making that many moves. And in that division, they got to start doing something.
Yeah, if they don't wake up soon, they're in trouble, big time.
They're already 22 points behind first, and we're 2 games into week 3.
Jeez.
So that kind of puts it in a little bit of perspective. They can't win at home. They're 1-7. They're 1-5-1 in 1-goal games. So, I mean, their forwards just aren't scoring when they're in 1-goal games. They've only got 1 overtime game.
What's the record in 1-goal games?
1-5-1.
So if you flip that around, though, they're what, 5th or 6th? They're 5-1-1 or something. I mean, they just might not be getting the bounces for now, but they'll come.
All right, on to the Western Pacific.
Here we go.
Yeah, we'll just skip the CUDA. 11-game winning streak. Undefeated record at home. 4-0 in 1-goal games.
Bunch of bums.
Yeah.
Scrub hunters.
I'll tell you what, though, our fans really juice us up. We're in a nice, like, CHL arena where there's, like, 4 stands, but only, like, a couple of them fill up. But boy, oh boy, do they go crazy. I think they're the really they're the ones behind our undefeated home record. So if we can get our continued support from them, I think we're good to go for sure.
I mean, like I said, almost 50% on power play. 80%, I think 82% on penalty kill.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any questions about my roster, I'm an open book. What do you want to know?
You couldn't even go off a trade bait. I mean, literally, you'd have to give up your whole roster to get guys that have this many points. I mean, I think you guys have more
nice
points than some teams.
Army too.
Right. You got user pick with 32 already. Ducks, you have 29.
Yeah, big 10-point night last night.
Where's Pasta at?
33.
33.
8 of our forwards are in the top 14 in scoring, so I think that says enough about that.
I mean, poor what's good Pookie. I mean, he's the only losing goalie.
Oh yeah, against the Rampage, they've been chirping us the past week about that too. But the Rampage, their top line's really good. I think they had like their GM Dufresne, and they really showed us what's up there. But I mean, we've been swimming along.
You got Milwaukee. You got the Monsters. And then tonight is the big one against the Moose.
Game of the year so far for sure. I mean, the Moose have their top line. We have our quote unquote third line of Matt, Patriot, and Magic Man. But yeah, it should be a good one.
And then tomorrow you have the Gulls and then Rockford.
Yeah.
So you got 2 top teams coming out at you.
Yeah, well, this week's our toughest for sure. Big time.
But then again,
sorry, go ahead.
It's curious to see. Halloween. ECU day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know it.
So
I'm just glad that 11:45 game got moved to 8:45 because that would have been the big one.
And you know what the surprising part is? Is I actually have a problem filling that game out of any other ones. It's trick or treating. I understand you have kids. Yeah. Tell the old lady to take them. You'll sit on your PS4 eating candy when they get back. Got a kid's ringing your doorbell. Trick or treat! Go away! I'm in the third period.
No, that's when you pull the veteran move and just like put a bowl of candy outside and just have the sign say take one.
Yeah, then the
So
kid comes
never
by
take
and takes 2 handfuls and dumps the whole bucket in his bag.
Or thing.
We're in overtime. Go away. Then you hear the eggs hitting your house.
Yeah.
Famous tradition. We got the Stockton Heat in second place. 27 points. Already 11 points behind the CUDA. Ouch.
Yeah, they've been a bit of
Second
a
place.
surprise to me so far, to be honest. I thought they were going to be more of like a middle pack team, but not too bad. They have my boy Davey. He was on the CUDA last season. He's the one I got passed
Yeah.
for. He's been lighting it up so far.
They don't have a bad team at all.
No, for sure. Their AGM was on my TC last season too, Krejci. He's really good.
They traded for FBI, CIA, NSA, USA.
Better lock your doors, jeez.
They moved Pappy Pap Smear this week.
Brought in Skyhawk. I think that was a good trade.
Yeah, that was definitely a good trade. One of their underrated players, Mr. Miller, 54. 6 points, +5, or 2. I believe they brought Simmer over, too. Duncope's been doing well. He's got 16 points, 5 and 3.
And they have the points leader in LL Cool Sam. 153 points.
Colt Chet, 1982. Definitely underrated. He's 6-1-1, 8 games played, 9 points, a +15. Now the ultimate question: is he scrub hunting?
Could see through those. Could see right through those.
I noticed that when I got to work.
His one loss was against the CUDA.
Of course. Oh yeah, I think that was on Sunday.
This one's confusing to me because it has him as an overtime loss.
Yeah.
But it's 5-3
in overtime.
in overtime.
I hear they had some lag out issues, and then so they decided to go to like the pin lobby to like finish up their game, and then that like messed up their stats big time.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing he's got stats on is hits.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a weird one. Facing Wild, Rockets, Crunch. Well, he might be kind of scrub hunting here. It's a little suspect.
Sound the alarms already?
Oh, well, Gulls, Condors, Stars. Well, Stars isn't really scrub hunting.
Goals are good.
Depends on who you ask. Oh.
Hey, now.
But yeah, I'm gonna say kind of because I mean Condors, Gulls were in week 1. The Crunch, Rockets, the Wild. He's facing all the bottom teams. Time he
I'm
actually
telling you
faced
though, the Gulls are really good. They just had a really bad first week, but I think they went like 6-2-2 in the last week.
Yeah, I think we've got them tonight.
Yeah. And they just got Hull back too, which is huge. I think he was like a first-round pick last season.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about them getting Hall back.
Oh, yeah, that was from your team, huh?
Mm-hmm. Imagine if I had Hall and Hydrate back in Rochester.
Yeah,
That would have been
That's the
nice.
thing too. They got shot in the leg a couple times. They had their like top 3 forwards like either traded away from them or sent up. Like max 20. I think he went like something stupid like 21 or 23 1-1 last season.
Right.
He got called up, and Hydrate and Hall got traded. So there's like your whole top line just gone.
Well, Max got called up, but they did pick up Skills-based Bills, if I'm saying it right, up in the NHL for Hydrate and Hall.
Okay.
So
That
it
makes
was more
sense,
of an NHL move then.
Yeah. I hate moves like that though, screwing over your AHL team. I mean, I guess it wasn't the preseason, so I guess you have time to recover, but it's a huge blow for sure.
The Ontario Reign.
They've been a surprise.
They just got Go Hawks.
Anyways.
Yeah, go Hawks.
Yeah.
They've been a surprise to me this season so far. I mean, they're on a 7-game win streak right now, so they got a good squad. I mean, they got V-Rain up at the forward line, which is kind of different. The deal maker, who was a goaltender last year, thank God he switched out because he was a horrible goaltender.
6-0-1. Jesus, is it DeGraves calling him out? Damn.
Oh, I gotta call out deal maker. That's our alter mater, dude. We always call each other out. He's still yet to beat me in an LG game, even though he claims to.
Ooh.
He must be more defensive. I mean, he's only 14 points.
Yeah, he's a setter-upper kind of guy. He likes to move the puck around and get things going and slow down the puck. I played with him as a forward, just playing pickup games and whatnot. And he's a good player. Sometimes makes some bad passes, cross crease pass, but other than that, man, I mean, a couple of their forward guys that have switched over to forwards, they actually performed and they're doing well for their team to win games, whether they're putting up big number of points or doing what they got to do to play as a team and put the puck in the net.
I mean, it's not like they're really blowing anybody out. They're beating Utica 3-2. They beat Stockton 5-1. Rockets 3-1. The Gulls 3-2. Stockton again 5-3. So I mean, it's not like they're really blowing anybody out. I mean, they're pretty close games. Besides the one Stockton game. So maybe they're going greasy, grimy, puck bounce goals.
Pucks in deep, grind it out.
I guess.
Playing some playoff hockey.
Playoffs.
But see, I played against Cox 25-64 last season. And I think that's why Cox is having a rough start. It's because I don't think Cox is the grindy, in the corner, battle it out type of player. So, I mean, that's could be why he's having such a slow start. Trying to see. Yeah, J-Row.
The left wing's really good too. He was on season 2. Who does?
Ooh, moves. Live moves.
Yeah.
They got Vows of Vengeance back down. He finally is back in the league after his ban.
Yeah. What is that? Played 1 game so far.
Yep. You got the Tucson Roadrunners at 23 points, 4 behind the Reign.
They're another draft pick loaded team, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely had a lot of draft picks like Milwaukee did.
Yeah.
A lot of people going on waivers on a Monday.
That's what I was just gonna say, man. Popping.
The morning after.
or the evening after, yeah.
Yeah. I know Ward Torian, their center. I played with him once at like 3 a.m, like 2 months ago, and he really stuck out to me. So to see him doing well is no surprise.
Well, they
I don't
called
know.
up. They
Go
call
ahead.
Medieval, who was on the Giants in the CHL last season. They have Ounce OGs, who's 3-3-2 with 19 points, -1. I want to say, isn't his contract like up like 7 mil?
Ooh, Ounce?
Yeah, Oz OGs.
Yeah, 7.25.
They got
Yeah.
a lot of fingers too.
That's to only have 15 points.
Yes, 8 games played, 15 points. That's
Not saying he's the one that's causing it, but I mean,
well, you pay that much for a winger. You
he better be putting up fucking pasta my nose numbers.
impossible. Ah,
I would never spend 7 mil on a player.
Yeah, that's
That-
crazy. After, I don't know, like, do you guys know how he plays? Like, after one season, 67 points, they drop 7 million on him.
like
That's nuts.
I can't see spending over like 5 mil on a player. That just
You
it
have to be
seems
sure at that point.
well, yeah, it just depends too, right? I mean, I've got one over 5, but just one.
Well, this is what all I'm gonna say is hopefully what's Pasta and User's contract? User is no contract, right?
Yeah,
And Pasta was what?
1.75.
That's disgusting.
So that's a 1-year contract, correct?
Yes.
Better watch out for that.
Yeah, you better reside that right away. That's gonna be up to Oz's numbers.
I hear some call-ups coming up soon to the NHL.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, our NHL team they
think
banned someone a week ago, and then they have someone else who hasn't showed up to a game yet. So
Uh-oh.
they
Trouble
might
in
be-
paradise.
But with that
R.I.P.
said,
R.I.P.
they also have a couple extra draft picks that they might like pull together and then
Yeah.
No,
trade
they're
away
not.
to get someone.
No, they're pulling.
they're taking everyone.
Thank God.
There's a chance? What?
There's a chance for the rest of the league, yeah. And while we're at it, can we move you to the other conference, please?
Yeah.
On to the Texas Stars.
Give it to DeGraves. Let him roll with it. What do you got, buddy?
DeGraves has 2 overtime losses. But he has 4 wins, 12 points, +2. I don't know what he was thinking, getting full melt. I'm just kidding. I love melt.
There's madness to it.
He does have Buffalchuk, who I feel in this league is extremely undervalued. That dude's good at his position for sure.
I mean, you know, I took over this team with the defense of mindset going into this season because defense is hard to come by. So you know, I knew quite a bit about Buffalo. Obviously, Gamer, my AGM, he's one hell of a lefty.
Yeah.
Really,
Yes.
really good. And you know, I have Dream Theater as well, who was a goalie, I believe, last season. He played defense for me in season 3. And I mean, him and Back Row to Philly are killing it together. They're a great combo. I think I played my last 4 games. I've been with them as my D guys, and there's nothing to complain about. I mean, our two top D pair are pretty sick nasty. But I'm definitely working on my third line pairing. Got some work to do there with Speedster and Mr. No Skills. they're good players, but definitely some kinks and some coaching on defensive positioning will further their game moving forward into the season. But offensively, as our forwards, I took a different approach this season going into it. As y'all well know, I had quite a bit of low salary players going into the season, and I had no problem doing that. All these players that were on my roster at the time, I've played with them for quite some time, and to be quite frank, I put a bid out on all these guys real early, and I woke up the next morning and they were all on my team. So, so my bidding went real quick. And I was done fairly quickly. But I left a lot of salary cap to make moves for teams that are trying to get rid of those high dollar players that do have some talent, but maybe good for their team or. I did pick up Full Melt. I understand that he can be a head case, but I've known Full Melt all the way back to season 3, and he is a good player, and as long as he plays with good management and good, on top of your shit as a manager, and plays them when you say you're going to play them, and I mean there's no complaints from him at all. So I'm actually pretty proud to take that bullet because he doesn't like to play for many people. I can tell you that. So, other than that, man, I mean,
who would you say your like your contract stud would be on your team?
Forward wise, I can't really say a contract stud besides myself, but I mean, we got Man 060. He was on the goals for a while. Got traded to the Kings last year. He's on my line for the most part. We play real well together. We've had some guys sent down from the NHL. Crimson Tide. He's a hell of a player. We've been having to make some moves back and forth with with the NHL team, and it's kind of unfortunate. But I would say defensively, besides management, man, I don't even know between the other three, between Drink Theater and Back Road and Buffalo. But as from what I've seen, I mean, Buffalo's our man on the right side of the ice, and I mean, as goalies, I know people think of them as average goalies. Hades, he should be, who knows, like 9-1 right now. We lost 3 overtime games, 2 of them which I was involved in, and I mean, Hades has stood on top of his head. I mean, that guy, he's a great goalie, and he takes a lot of pride in this game and plays a lot. So, and Red Raider as well. I mean, he's a great goalie too. Had some bad bounces, bad luck, couple games, but I mean, overall, our team we're coming together. It's right now availability is AIDS due to this new scheduling and whatnot. So we're trying to put together the pieces. I'm making some moves, moving forward. It's not happening as quick as I want it to, but I think we're in a good position for going down the road the next weeks. And I mean, even this week we have a really tough schedule. We play the Ice Hogs tonight. I'll be in that game. We play the Moose also tonight. I'll be in that game. My line will be in that game. And so, I mean, we got Cuda this week as well. I think this is like our 3rd time playing them already this season.
Yeah.
I think they whooped our ass the first game, 7-1, and then I believe the second game against Cuda was 5-4.
5-4.
Taken. So, I mean, not a bad game at all. I heard, our defense has a couple slip-ups and turning the puck over in our defensive zone. But, hey, I mean, that's part of the hockey, and can't take that away from Cuda. Obviously, they're a badass team. So, not expecting to go to the top of the standings because we do have Cuda. But, my objective at the day is to get up to that number 2 spot. I'm pretty confident in the team that we have, and where we can take it moving forward. So I'm just going to move a couple more pieces by the next week or so, and I think from there we'll be set. So pretty excited.
Were you planning at all to get like any big money guys in bidding, or just
No,
like you said, just waiting it out?
not at all.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in defense wins games. So does goaltending. So anyone can score a puck, honestly. So those are pieces that you can put together chemistry-wise going down the road. And luckily, I've played a line. I think it was the Griffins, where their line that we played against was 17 mil total, and my whole team wasn't even worth 17 mil. So, and we beat them. So I mean, I felt pretty good about that. So,
There you go.
I know everyone kind of chatted me up when I had such a low salary team and saying, yeah, well, you pay for what you get, and I want to say I have pretty good guys on my team, and good people, and no complaint. Everyone loses games, stuff like that. So, other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with the outcome so far. It's about right where I expected to be to start out the season. So it's just a process. I have a plan. I'm a man with a plan. So, as Ducks well knows, I keep in contact with him here and there, kind of shoot the shit with him. But I'm a man with a plan, and I think here in the next week or two, I'm going to be making some moves for some big guys to fill that salary cap.
Sounds good.
So, I think here in the future we'll be looking out. We'll be out looking in. So, be ready for the Stars because they're going to be shining.
All right, you heard it first from DeGraves.
Yep. Shining stars.
Shining stars.
Not yet.
Start the hashtag in the shout box.
We're dim stars right now, but they're going to be shining.
Onto the Gulls. They are chasing the Stars down 4 points from them. They lost to the Rockets 2-1 last week. Lost to the Reign, beat the Condors twice, and lost to the Devils. They face Rockford, the Griffins, the Eagles, the Cuda, and the Wild in the next couple of days. Now everybody's telling me how good those Gulls are, but yet their last 2 wins are against the Condors, who are only 3-13-4. Let's see who they got
trade for Shepherd. That was a really good move.
Right.
That's good. I think the main thing is their defense has been slipping up a little bit. Philly was on my team last season. Is he worth the $4 million? Probably not. I think they paid him to be like a top man, like top pairing guy, and he's not that. He's a very, very good second pairing guy. Just not a top guy. And at $4 million, that hurts a little bit. And then Joe Wink's pretty much the same way. He was on my buddy Greek's team last season for a bit. And he said, very good guy, very good player, just worth $3 million? Probably not. So a couple overpaid defensemen, that's probably the issue when they're not performing for sure.
I think they'll finally get a first line now that they got Hall and probably Deer Hunter. I think they're still lacking the depth, though. I mean, the Griffins are looking up. They got the Cuda and Rockford. Probably wins against Eagles and Wild, maybe. But, I mean, another 4 points out of a playoff spot.
Bowing.
So that's a possibility. I mean, I think they still need to make a couple more moves.
I see them in the playoffs by the end of the season. Might be at that 3-4 spot where before the season I thought they were going to be second, but they'll be there, I think.
Who do you think's in a playoff spot right now that won't be?
Rain. Tucson.
Roadrunners?
Yeah, I think Rain, Tucson jump out, Texas and San Diego jump in.
Yeah, I will agree with that completely also. I think that's dead on.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a couple surprises through for every season, but that's the way I see it for now.
If they make a couple of moves, I can see that. Very possible. What's their goals for and goals against?
61 goals for, 74 goals against. So, like I said, defense is failing them a bit. Because they have a very capable goalie in Trash Clown.
He's a
Pasta and user picks goalie in season 4, and they just absolutely loved him.
Yeah, I've had him too. I mean, I had him in club before I even started playing LG. He was playing club with a couple guys. And I've tried to get him every season. I think I got him one season, but then he went to management the next. He's a stud. That's somebody I'm afraid to play against tonight, but hopefully we'll light him up.
All right, on to the Rampage.
Rampage.
The little train that could.
Yeah, 72-72. That's pretty even there.
Lost to the Crunch. Lost to Tucson. Twice.
Right,
and lost to the Senators.
Those are the ones, those Tucson games, back-to-back like that. What they play them last Wednesday, and then they played them again yesterday. You got to win those games. You have to win those games. You at least have to split.
You at least have to beat the Crunch.
Yeah, that too.
Losing 6-3 to them?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, you got to put Bears in for fucking 6 games and give Matlock 3. I mean, Bears is just the better goalie. His record's proven it. 6-4-1 to Memlock's 1-7-1.
That hurts. Use a first-round pick, too.
Exactly. You got to give Bears all the games if you're going to make a push at all.
They did get Peace through a random assignment. I think that might be a shot in the arm a little bit to juice them up. I mean, looking at the roster, they have a very good first line. It's just the depth that's failing them. Like their first line of Fisher, Dowden, Sticky, and Dufresne, that's like top 10 in the league, I think.
But to my case, though, Peace isn't really a defenseman.
No, yeah, he's more of a forward, huh?
I mean, he played one game and was a -5. He's a forward. I don't know if it was more of a thing to stay in the CHL.
Yeah,
because,
I'm not too sure.
Because I've known Peace as a forward. I've rarely seen him play
He's
defense.
really good.
I mean, they just sent Spray and Pray down. I think that will help them. I've heard rumors of availability issues. Frost Wolf is a decent defenseman. He must have been in with Peace in one of those games. Because they both have played one game at -5.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it must have been that Tucson game. K Grilly is doing really well. 5-1-1 with 9 points. He's got plus-minus of 19. But there's another one. They don't have depth. And it seems like it's hurting them. They have that one line. And a goalie that can only win one game. I mean, what would you guys do in that case? I mean, he's a captain, he's a draft pick. I'm assuming he's the paid AGM.
Yeah, he is.
So I'd probably take that AGM off. Nothing against the guy, and send him down to the sea.
Do you have any good TC goalies that you checked?
Rampage we're talking about?
Yep. See.
If they sent him down, they could call up Peanut Butter. Or Cabbage.
E-Gaming World, he's good too, isn't he? I forget his numbers. I think he had like an 80 save percentage at least, though.
I'll look quick. No.
No?
He was 6-15. He also was on the Admirals last season. He had a 79.6 with a 3.44.
Yeah, so that's good. For the Admirals team to have almost 80 save percentage.
Down in the CHL in season 5, he was a 76.5 with 3.75. And with Barry this season, he's 2-1 with a 73.3 with a 1.99 goals against. So you have options.
They definitely have options for sure.
I mean, it's nothing against the guy, but I mean, if you're going to make any kind of push, you got to make that change.
Yeah.
Or he's got to start winning some games.
Unfortunately, it might be one of those cases where like he's the GM's buddy or something, so you know he's getting that roster spot for sure. But if not, you got to make a change there.
Yeah, at least have to be giving Bear 6 games.
Yeah.
If he has that availability. I've never seen it work out well with the buddy system.
Barracuda.
Well, okay.
I'm kidding. Okay.
So that'd be my suggestion. Is you got to find something. What's even his save percentage? Is he like keeping them in games, or or is he playing the 1-goal games, or?
He has 1-7-1, 74.7 save percentage, 4.07 goals against.
So he's not even keeping them in games.
Not doing well.
Yeah, sometimes even if it is a friendship thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to make the hard decision.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the better of the team, man. There's a bunch of other guys on that team other than you and that guy, so.
Can we say Bakersfield is the buddy system?
Oh, man. I wouldn't even say that. I mean,
what do you say?
Mismatch. They got Fire Mike.
I mean, could you say Fire Mike when Fire Sale?
Yeah.
I mean, he flipped his roster.
Yeah, I talked to the Condors GM a couple days ago, and he said Fire Mike has been less than helpful. Like, he's been not
Well, I think they upgraded with You Don't Know Me. I think when did that happen?
He's a good defenseman.
He's a very good defenseman. Somebody stole him in bidding from me. Serve. That's Serve's deal. He steals all my guys. But, yeah, he's a good defenseman. That'll help him a lot. And I pass, right?
New GM.
Yeah.
He's good.
They're still not even at their full 17 players either.
You know, when you get
So
raked
there's-
across the coals from the top down, it's gets to be a little rough. And, you know, and it also, you can tell by the turnover, right? I mean, that sucks.
I mean, your GM quits and you just trade everybody.
Well, at that point, I mean, what do you have to lose, I guess?
Do they have 3 wins this season?
3
Is
wins.
that what I read?
I'd hate to be the 3 teams that lost.
Yeah, that's a little embarrassing.
They got the Wild, Milwaukee, Monsters,
I think didn't they just win?
Rampage, and Moose. I mean, you lost to Utica. 5-4.
Was no sleeves in that
Was he in
game?
that game?
Yeah.
I'll find out.
No sleeves probably
I'm looking
carried the
right
boys
now.
there.
Let's look. 5-4. Scroll her down.
No, he wasn't.
No.
2
Nah.
ECU defensemen.
Char was. Well, yeah, but Char was there as an
Yeah.
ECU. Yeah, that's tough, man. Well, so what do we got left here?
Trades.
Trades. Let's check the news. We're just gonna go through the news page. Yeah. Oh, let me see something.
Actually, I think I'm going to take that here, guys. I got to set up my game for 10 minutes.
So do I. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that here shortly. Here.
Well, let's just do a quick run view.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to spend all night on trades. We just went through and talked about most of them.
Yeah, through the show.
Shepard to the Gulls for a draft pick and a TC. Summa draft pick for Toadstooler.
Yeah, Suma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Toadstooler. Toadstooler was actually Edmonton's top goalie, or
He's decent.
Condors. And Ottawa sent a 3rd-round pick to Edmonton.
I think they could have gotten more value than Toadstooler out of that package.
Right. You get Krulov for 3 Utica players. Brahmabul, I'm a beast kid, went to the Condors. I mean, most of these are all...
Yeah, there's not much.
The big one, the Condors traded away their 2 send-downs. Their 2 best players they traded away before they even played a game, and Matt Sabb and Abay the Sandman. So
Well,
that was an interesting move.
One of the interesting moves is Big T Buck getting called up to the NHL.
Oh,
That's how hurting Edmonton is.
man.
Buck's one of my buddies, and he's wondering why the hell he's going up there.
Yeah, he was on my TC last season, yeah.
I mean, dude's a decent player, no doubt about it, but not to NHL level. I mean, he even said, "Who's going to want to touch me after this season?" I mean, he obviously doesn't have confidence in that, and I believe he's been on one of Fire Mike's teams before. So obviously he doesn't have much confidence in that. Fronts went to the Monsters for a 1st-round pick. That's a lot for France, in my opinion.
He was a first-round pick, though, wasn't he?
I think he was.
It's going to be a lower-end first-rounder, though, if it's coming from Columbus.
All right, boys. I'm jumping off. I got to get this game going. I'm playing in this first one. I got to give a shout-out to Kojackal before he pees his pants. It's one of my new pickups. So I've done that now, and we're going to jump out. I appreciate it. It's nice being here again. So hopefully we'll check it out next week.
Later, man.
Later, boys.
You got CJ Snipes and Nate Brown pretty much going over to the Rockets for Lookaroo. Chip Ahoy and Mafia 91 for diecast.
A lot of smaller end deals. Like
Right.
I didn't realize this many trades actually went through, but looking through, that's a ton of movement.
I gotta
Any
say,
other big ones?
Pappy for a third round and a TC.
Pappy has a pretty huge contract, doesn't he?
My whole defense equals 15.25 mil.
Jeez.
Told you all my forwards are 500K. Go Hawks. Went to the Reign. That was for a second round pick and 2 4th rounds.
Oh yeah, it was Go Hawks and 2 4ths for a second.
Yeah. Mitch Marner and Moose and K-Mac for Chowski.
That was not a good move for the Marlies.
Doyers going over the Cuda. That should help fill that out. Bob the Ostrich went to Hershey as part of an NHL deal. Not seeing any other.
No.
Most of them are all.
A lot of TC deals.
Right.
I know, I think I made 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think I'm going to hop off too now.
Yep.
Thanks for having me on the show. Good luck tonight in your games.
All right. You too, man.
All right. I'll catch you later.
Later, man.
See ya.
Go 55 signing off for week 2 of the AHL and League Gaming. We will hit you guys up next week after week 3. See how the Cuda did against the, I believe the Moose. See how Six's team does against theirs. And check out the rest of the league. I'll probably get another GM on here, do another interview. You guys heard from D. Graves and Ducks fan Waterloo. So we will check you guys out next week. Later.